Home Again. This stars Reese Witherspoon, and this is about a recently separated 40-year-old lady that moves in 3 young men to a house because her mum thinks it's a good idea, thus bringing us a different kind of rom-com with a weird, very weird plot. Now, I'll start off by saying this movie gets a lot of flack? A lot of flack? Lot of shit. Gets a lot of shit. I don't think it's really true. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to lay it out there. A lot of people say it's maybe one of the worst rom-coms in recent history. It's dumb. Now look past something. This movie definitely had pluses and minuses. Definitely had some minuses. But this movie is different. And this movie has a weird plot that maybe a lot of people can't see past. And maybe has clouded their judgment about this movie. I thus didn't get clouded by the plot and enjoyed for what it was. Now, a plus is the characters. The 3 guys, these 3 young guys that I can't remember the names of the actors, and their chemistry on screen together is great. They have a lot of fun, not only with each other on screen, but with Reese Witherspoon's character. There's a lot of back and forth between them all, and it's really enjoyable to watch on screen. The characters are a big staple of this movie, and it is very enjoyable. And that is the biggest thing about this movie. It gets enjoyability because of the characters. And if you don't enjoy the characters, yeah, you might find the rest of the movie pretty thin and lack of depth. But a movie always has got a base on its characters. Even if you have the greatest story of all time, if you have no characters, how are you going to tell it? So, I think a lot of people really might not dislike the characters and really find them in some of the rest of the movie because it isn't directed great. It is a first-time director, and you can tell she struggled a little bit. But the dialogue has kept a little bit of shit as well, and people have been like quoting lines from it and shit. Not talking about anyone specific, Chris Stuckman, but I'm not talking shit about you, Chris. I don't know how you're going to say it, but any Chris Stuckman fans, I'm a big Chris Stuckman fan as well. I think he gave a review of this movie dialogue because the dialogue sounds really bad. When he read it out, people have been reading it out, and they've been quoting lines that maybe it did work in the movie, but just saying them out is not going to work now. So don't get the heat. If you want to see this movie, I would say see it. I don't think it's a movie that you're going to regret seeing, especially if you wanted to see it. But if you don't see it, I'm not going to tell you to go out and see it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say this is really good, you should run out and go and see it, because it isn't a fantastic movie. It definitely has some flaws in this movie. Lack of depth. The story is kind of, you're not really sure where it's going. It gets to a point and you really can tell, but you're not really sure when it can end. And, you know, it's not the best well-made film, but because of these characters, it gave me some enjoyment out of this movie. And I don't think it should be as hated as it is. I'm giving this movie a C. And a C is a rating that it's average, but I honestly went for a C+, but I looked at some of the other movies that I gave C+s to, and I thought it's really not quite there yet. I think a C+ is more of a can get better and really could have been something good. I feel like this movie was as good as it could get with some of the things they had going on in this movie, but I really found enjoyment out of the things that maybe I shouldn't have. I'm obviously not the target audience, but I found something out of this movie. Again, I wouldn't recommend for someone that didn't want to see it. If you saw the trailers or saw the posters and said, oh, that's not for me, don't see it then. If you actually thought, oh, that looks enjoyable, I think you'll get something out of it. That is it, guys. As always, you can comment your thoughts below, as well as liking the video, pressing that subscribe button to come back, and of course, have a good one.